last week we talked about Rosario Dawson being casted as Ahsoka Tano in potentially The Mandalorian Season 2. That's what the word on the street was. Even though The Mandalorian Season 2 has wrapped production, they're done filming and everything, apparently Rosario Dawson is playing a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano. Now, if I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to bet on this being a likelihood of a rumor, but we have more news on the situation. New news, if you will. And this is coming from thedirect.com, and I'm not sure how credible these people are, but they do seem to be, we'll call them a credible source. Daniel Richman, he says Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano contract is reportedly a multi-show deal. For reference, this is a unique type of contract seen most often with MCU actors and actresses who have signed onto other film and show properties in the past. This is not a confirmation that Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano will indeed appear in one of the Disney Plus shows, rather that Lucasfilm is potentially interested in having her character make future appearances in other shows, thus including this clause in the contract. Okay, so it seems like I'm a little cautious of the terminology here, where it's saying that she has a multi-show deal, but it's only part of a clause in the contract apparently, which I feel like that would be a big part of the deal if they were going to do a multi-show. Like, that would be one of the... I mean, they've been using Ahsoka like that for a little bit now, where she's kind of appearance... She's a small appearance in Rise of Skywalker, just a voice, that's all it is. But she's also a big appearance in something like Star Wars Rebels, and she was, of course, a big deal in Star Wars The Clone Wars, arguably one of the main characters, if not the main character. So the point I'm making here is, I feel like Lucasfilm is betting a lot, if not everything, on Ahsoka Tano right now. And I don't... See, here's the thing. It's not that I dislike Ahsoka. I actually like the character. She started off really rough for a lot of us. She was a very annoying little teenage girl in the Clone Wars show, in the movie. No one really liked her. But then she grew up, she had an arc as a character, and she became very interesting. But now that time has gone on, now that we've seen her in Rebels, and she's back in the Clone Wars, at some point I want to finish this character's arc. Do I really want to see her live past the original trilogy into The Mandalorian? Not really. Sure, it'd be nice to hear about what she's been doing and maybe what would happen with her, and if she teaches like Baby Yoda the Force or something, but her appearing in a live-action show left and right, like let's say she shows up in the Cassian Andor show, or maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi runs into her into his little series. I mean, there's so many possibilities that we can now go through with her having this multi-show deal, Rosario Dawson having this deal if she's playing Ahsoka in a live-action role. I just feel like at some point we need to go, why don't we make new characters? Why don't we do something new instead of relying on these characters fans already love so much? I understand you want to please the fans, but there does come a point where it's like, if she's just going to show up in a lot of different shows, why not just give her own show? Like, really, what's the point of making a multi-show deal where, let's be honest, a lot of Lucasfilm projects, about, I'd say, a few months into preparing production, and they're getting the pre-production, if you will, and they go, oh, actually, we don't like the script, we don't like the story. Man, how many times have we heard this before, where Lucasfilm has a project in the works and plans going forward, and then something happens at the executive level where it gets stopped in its tracks? I don't want to see that happen to this, because I feel like you're almost stringing along fans here. And if we're going to look to the future of Star Wars, can we get out of the past? I would really like that. That's one thing I love about The Mandalorian, is that it's honoring the past while looking towards the future and doing something that feels like it's still part of the original trilogy of Star Wars. It still feels like we have new characters with The Mandalorian show. We have new story arcs. We have new possibilities. And now we're just going back to what we're used to. Bringing in Ahsoka. Just bringing her back in for season 2. Just give her a show. Let her do her own thing. I like Ahsoka. Very good character. Very important character to us Star Wars fans. But there does come a point where I say, we gotta move on. We gotta finish up the story arc. We gotta finish up what we're doing here. And I'm scared there's too much potential to ruin the character with this kind of stuff right here. Overdoing it may be ruining the character, where she's now coming in because for Lucasfilm, if you go to the political ideology aspect of it, where it's like, this is a very strong, prominent female character in the Star Wars fandom, which is predominantly male. And the difference between a character like Ahsoka and Rey is that Rey may be split among the fandom. A lot of people actually like Ahsoka. I would say maybe like 20 to 15% of the fandom doesn't like Ahsoka Tano. So my problem with this is that you have the potential to make the fandom no longer care about this character by overdoing it, giving us too much Ahsoka Tano content and not really focusing on her in the way we want her to. Also, like I said, I feel like maybe the potential for a live-action version of Ahsoka might even ruin the character. Maybe she looks weird. Maybe the way that Rosario talks isn't anywhere close to what Ahsoka sounds like. I just feel like there's a lot of potential to ruin a very beloved character here, and the idea of them not only committing to it as a cameo in like The Mandalorian Season 2 or an episode or two, but now they're going, not even committing to a show, but a multi-show deal that might even include movies. I mean, we really have no idea what the plan is here with Ahsoka, but I'm scared that they will milk it. I guess that's the word I've been looking for a little bit during this video, is I feel like they're going to milk the Ahsoka arc, and I feel like they're going to overuse her character simply because she's a strong female character that Star Wars fans actually love. And I don't want that. I want to move on with different stories, different characters. This is a new time in Star Wars. It's a new time for Lucasfilm, a very bold and ambitious time, if they let it be, where you explore new stories and do new things, just focusing on what fans used to love from the past, which, you know, Clone Wars isn't that old now, but I mean, shit, that was a thing that I watched when I was a kid, and now it's like, hey, we gotta move on at some point. So I don't hope this, I hope this doesn't happen personally, but I also understand that a lot of people love Ahsoka, so I would love to hear your thoughts below. What do you guys think about this potential multi-show deal for Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka Tano? Love to hear your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you all next time, and may the Force be with you, always.